Yes.
Good morning, everybody. This is our regular Tuesday morning meeting of August 11th of the Mason County Commission. We will begin with, Vicki, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Tim Sheldon.
I'm here as well.
Commissioner District 3, Karen Jeffries.
Here.
Next up is item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Is there any correspondence to come before this board?
Yes, there is. Bonnie Knight submitted an application for the Allen Belfair UGA Committee. The Department of Natural Resources sent revenue tables. The Liquor Control Board submitted special occasion applications from Summit Pacific Medical Foundation, Roy Pioneer Rodeo Association, and Harston Island Women's Club.
Thank you. Item number 4.2, news release. Mason County Joint Advisory Committee of the Allen and Belfair UGAs for the 2016 Growth Management Act update. Staff, Barbara Atkins.
Thank you. Barbara Atkins, Department of Community Development. I have released this news release once before, but I'm going to read it again because we're still looking for some more applicants to fill this committee. On June 9th, 2015, the Mason County Board of County Commissioners approved a resolution establishing a joint citizen advisory committee for the Allen and Belfair urban growth areas for the 2016 Growth Management Act update. This committee will provide recommendations to the Board of County Commissioners and other commissioner-appointed groups to create consistency for more viable urban growth areas. The committee will consist of no less than 7 and no more than 11 members representing the Allen and Belfair UGAs. Specific meeting dates and times will be determined by the committee, and they shall serve until May 31st, 2016. All residents of Mason County with an interest in providing guidance and assistance are strongly encouraged to apply for a position on this committee. If you have already submitted an application, you do not need to reapply. All applications received will be considered. For an application, please contact Mason County Commissioner's Office at 427-9670, extension 419, or by visiting our website. Completed applications must be submitted to the Commissioner's Office by August 28th, 2015.
Thank you very much. Is there any other correspondence or organizational business to come before this board? Thank you. Item number 5, open forum for citizens input. This is your opportunity to speak on any item that may not be on the agenda. We ask that if it's on the agenda, you wait until it comes up. You'll be given an opportunity to speak at that time. With that being said, if it is not on the agenda, I'm not going to go through all the spiel about time because don't have a lot of public. So if anybody would like to speak, this is your opportunity. Please keep it brief. Please.
Why not? Last week my name is Charles Westman. I'm with the Shelton Poverty Advisory Team. Last week I came up here and put a little bug in you guys' ear about a fundraising idea I had for this porta potty campaign. And yesterday at City Commission meeting, I had a brief chat with Steve Goins, and he pointed out that the reference to the city not acceptable, and Mayor Jerry Quant said that he would like to see the word draft stamped on this stuff. So I guess I can't run this campaign as I wanted, but still, we do have the need for porta potties downtown. And this was not intended to be a commission-related thing. It was more like a more personalized thing where the citizens that know about fundraising and know about where the proper places to ask. When I first looked at this project, they said, we want you to fundraise. I'm kind of picturing myself going door to door, knocking on the door, looking for 5 here and 10 there. And we want to get this project up and running, you know. We've got the tent city ordinance that we have to work on in order to get the tent city happening. I'd kind of like to put this porta potty thing behind us. It seems kind of a simple thing. There were a couple other things that we ran into that were problems. I guess we decided to go with a 4-month pilot, which increases the amount of the numbers that I showed you last week. And of course that's going to be a problem. We'll get this all figured out. But the problem is we don't meet again until a week from tomorrow. And that leaves us 12 days to get the fundraising in order and kick the project off as scheduled. So we'll figure it out. I'm a beginner at this, and I'll learn along the way. But there was good news. I did get a letter from Professor Sarah Rankin yesterday when I checked my email. She is a law professor at Seattle University, and she specializes in homeless rights advocacy and teaches lawyering skills. So in a case like this, where maybe I'm having a little trouble competing, she's offered me an opportunity to work with a committee that assists people like myself that are having trouble with legal wranglings and figure out how to get their foot in the door. So I will respond to her email today and see what we can put together. And she's offered to provide a colleague to help me, and this will be great. This will be a way that if I'm going to run with the big dogs, I guess I need a little bit more education before I can do that. So, but thank you for your time. And keep in mind, Steve Goins, I guess, is going to be the go-to guy. If you got a few extra bucks in the household budget, can afford to pay for porta potties, feel free to go down there, and you guys know how to do it the legal way, okay?
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for your advocacy on their behalf.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak at this time on any item not on the agenda? Hearing none, we will move to item number 6, the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded for the adoption of the agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, the motion carries. Item number 7, approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of County Commissioners approve the following minutes: July 2nd emergency meeting minutes, and June 23rd, July 7th, July 14th, July 21, July 28th, and August 4th regular meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Yeah, it's been moved and seconded for the approval of the July 2nd emergency meeting minutes, the June 23rd, July 7th, July 14th, July 21, and July 28th, and August 4th regular meeting minutes. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, the motion carries. Next, we move into our action agenda. All items listed on the action agenda may be enacted with one motion unless a commissioner or citizen requests an item be removed from the action agenda and considered as a separate item. If there's any item that you have any questions on after we read it, you'll be given an opportunity to ask a question. If you definitely know you want to testify, we ask that you have it taken off for a separate vote, and you'll be given an opportunity to testify. With that being said, I'm going to read item number 8.1, 8.2, and 8.3. Commissioner Sheldon, if you will read item number 8.4, and Commissioner Jeffries, 8.5 and 6, please. Item number 8.1, approval to list the following surplus properties for sale by Mason County with Richard Beckman Realty Group, parcel number 22129-75 90092 and 22129-75 90093, both located at 8635 East State Route 3, Shelton, Washington. Item 8.2, approval of the Veterans Assistance Fund application for necessity items $200, burial $595, for a total of $795 as recommended by the Veterans Service Office. Item number 8.3, approval of the county program agreement number 1563-42652 between Mason County and the State of Washington Department of Social and Health Services, DSHS, to expand evidence-based programs to expand functional family therapy for youth and reduce recidivism. The amount of the grant funding is $277,546 with no matching funds required.
Mr. Chairman, 8.4 is approval of warrants. Claims Clearing Fund warrants 802-7167 through 802-7235 in the amount of $111,125.65. Claims Clearing Fund warrant 802-7272 through 802-7513 in the amount of $3,121,445.07. Direct Deposit Fund warrant 24013 through 24400 in the amount of $634,646.48, and the Salary Clearing Fund warrants 700-1204 through 700-1235 in the amount of $455,130.09. And this is a total of $4,322,347.29. The claim clearing year-to-date total is $21,282,319.63. The direct deposit year-to-date total is $8,927,456.96. And the salary clearing is year-to-date total of $9,222,380.51.
Item 8.5, approval for the Director of Community Development to enter into agreements with Code Pros LLC, Eagle Eye Consulting Engineers, and Townsend and Associates Incorporated for building department services. The amount of each contract will not exceed $50,000 and no budget amendment will be needed. 8.6, approval of the board to authorize the updated Title 6 non-discrimination agreement and authorize the chair to sign the non-discrimination agreement annual report covering the reporting period from May 1, 2013 to April 30th, 2014.
Thank you. With everything being read into the record, this is your opportunity now to ask any questions that may help you to decide whether or not to have it taken off for a separate vote. Anybody? Yes, Conley? Conley, do you have a question to help you decide?
Yes, just a question, yes. The last 8.5, does that take the place of plan check? Or theoretically the same as plan check?
They'll be doing plan check.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Is there any other questions that would help you to decide whether or not to take it off for a separate vote? Hearing none, is there any items you would like taken off for a separate vote so you can testify or hear more about it? Commissioners, anything?
No.
And I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve items 8.1 through 8.6 on today's action agenda.
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and seconded for the approval of the action agendas, items number 8.1 through 8.6 as written. Any discussion?
I just wanted to clarify for the public's knowledge, item 8.5, and where we are signing contracts or going into agreements with 3 different agencies for building services. This is necessitated by the fact that we're having difficulty recruiting building officials in our department. And so we are needing to go outside and do this as contracted services.
Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. The action agenda, all items passed. We will go ahead and move. There are no hearings set for today, so we'll move on to other business, department heads and elected officials. Any department heads who would like to speak? Elected officials? Hearing none, we are going to move into board report and calendar. Who would like to go first? Mr. Schultz?
I will try it out. Okay. Go back a week here. We had our meeting on the 4th of August, and had a couple meetings. One with Sierra Pacific. Talked to quite a while with Lynn Longan and three of the management people for the company. Got some ideas on where they're going and some of their needs and their plans. Met with some people with Squaxin Island Tribe, but down at the Oakland Bay Marina. Looked at the Flexi pier, I'll call it. Anyway, there's quite a few of them in a row, and got a very good tour with Dave Johns and others of how these facilities operate and some of the needs for the future. And was a public power council in Portland with PUD 1 and PUD 3. Let's see. I talked a little bit with our public works staff about the Simmons Road project. That's at Lynch Road, and that was in the state transportation budget for $5 million. It was $5 million. So they're talking about working with the state on how to begin the project. They don't think they need to acquire a little bit of additional right-of-way. Our county does, and that's underway. And the money is programmed to begin in July of 2018, so in 2 years. Construction would start. 2017, excuse me, in 2 years. And let's see, also met with our new superintendent of schools, Alex Apostle, an interesting gentleman, great background for us, I believe, and the school board president had lunch to talk to them, or excuse me, breakfast to talk to them on Monday the 10th. attended a city commission meeting yesterday and talked again about the appropriation from the state in the general fund budget for assistance for the local communities affected by the mill closure here in town. And I'm hopeful that the city will use some of that funding for permitting assistance for, and that's not a request by the company. I think that with a lot of other activity happening in the city, just with the demolition and construction, there'll be 200 people working on the waterfront. So there will be a lot of activity with other permits as well. So just finding the water systems, making sure of the fire protection, the difficulty or just the uniqueness of the situation. I think that money is flexible enough to use for some permit assistance, and that would get jobs there much quicker. I'll be attending a Navy League luncheon today at noon with Kitsap County at the submarine base, so that's going to be very interesting. I'll let you know how that goes. And another meeting tomorrow morning with Department of Ecology over in their Lacey office, and I will be able to be at the Olympic Region Clean Air Agency meeting tomorrow too at 10 o'clock in Lacey. I'll be speaking at the Little Walk Community Club on Thursday the 13th at 6 o'clock, and meeting with some constituents on Friday, as well as I will be here for the briefings on Monday the 17th. I may be just a little bit late though. I've got an appointment in Tacoma early. We're back on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thank you. Sure.
So following last week's meeting, I met with our Director of Public Health and some other staff members on some various issues throughout the day. I did attend a presentation by former Commissioner Laura Porter on ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences, and how they can be a predictor to certain types of health issues that are chronic. And it was a very informative talk. She emphasized this is a fairly new science in public health, but the data gathering that has led to some of the theories around this has been done by the Center for Disease Control through annual surveys, random selected surveys. And so the science behind this is very, I think, very, what's the word I want? It stands up, and it's interesting, but it's new enough that folks aren't yet involving it in some of their healthcare planning. Let's see, had mostly work. I met with our tourism contractor over the phone regarding our festival request for proposal process that we're doing. And then over the weekend, I hosted a wedding at my home and was able to enjoy some activities up in Camino Island. Back here for briefings yesterday, and then this afternoon I'll be meeting with a constituent and then with more staff. I will not be able to attend the Hood Canal Coordinating Council because we do have a MACECOM meeting. I could potentially be there for the first hour if you think that would be helpful.
Problem is I'm only going to be there for the first hour. My son is flying out, so I'm taking the airport.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
Perhaps I can see what it is, yes. There'll be an open house of the WorkSource Center, Special Transition Center for employees that are who are laid off at the Simpson closure, and then the coordinating meeting of that group. And then I'll be attending some evening functions with some businesses, and then I'll be attending a meeting with the state auditor's office with our director of the Hood Canal Coordinating Council, and then celebrating Belfair's 100th anniversary this weekend, and back for briefings on Monday.
Okay, I attended the Allen Community Association meeting, Sheriff's Advisory Board meeting. Let's see, I have a regulatory subcommittee meeting, at a cemetery meeting. I met with a contractor out there, a local contractor in the North Mason area, to talk about different things we can do to streamline their process and help them with economic development. Had some different meetings with some people out of Greatview in regards to their the concept of their industrial district they're looking to create at the port of Greatview. Let's see. We had a regular briefings at the Taste of Hood Canal this last week, and that was absolutely wonderful. I love attending. They're the greatest oysters in the world are served there. Harry Martin's famous oysters. Harry is no longer with us, but his food lives on. Let's see. A couple of those things. For the most part, just met with different people. We have a lot of different things going on when it comes to the roads out in Belfair. The highway work that's being done by the water department. The state will tell you over and over again that it's not being done properly, and the damage to the cars is definitely mounting up. But considering the Belfair water is broke, they can't do a bunch of change orders, nobody can force them to do anything. The only thing the state has that they could do is to rip them off the project, but they're only a week out, so they're trying to make them finish out this week, and hopefully after that, the roads will get straightened out, at least for a while until the next construction project comes through. But I've been getting a lot of calls from people on that because it's getting worse and worse. This next week, Hood Canal Coordinating Council meeting, as was explained, I am the chair, so I'll try to shorten that up to make it be done in an hour and a half instead. I'm taking my son to the airport today. It's a big momentous event for me. I don't let my kids go away from me anywhere. This is a big bad world, and it makes me nervous to send him off. But my son is going to go to California for 2 weeks to spend some time with family, and I know when he comes back, he's going to be all grown up. I can't wait to see how this turns out. We have our Simpson meeting this week, the Economic Development Council meeting this week. Union City installation, Belfair 100-year Chamber of Commerce celebration, and then I'm going to the Seahawks game. Then we have the Belfair 100-year celebration party. I'll be attending a funeral for Mike Sullivan. He passed away from cancer. He was Bremerton.
Oh, yes.
City Councilman. Very good man. We have our Superior Court briefings, our regular briefings, and then I also will have the Camency boards. And I think that brings us back to our regular meetings.
Question for you, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
The support of Greatview is considering industrial
Yes.
development. So they've never had one, right?
No.
So this could be a vote of the commission.
It would be by the vote of the commission. They're actually looking at doing it differently, and that's where some of the problems are arising. The old industrial development district could be created with up to 45 cents over 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
The new law that was just passed allows them to spread that amount out over 20 years. And so they've come up with a formula that they had read somewhere, which is actually very hard to ever explain to the people. So instead of saying 45 cents for 6 years, they're saying it's going to be 15 cents for this many years, 14 cents for this many years, 8 cents for this many years, and the people are going, what are you doing? And they don't understand, and it's making it really confusing. They also, I'm sure, don't understand that once they do that, there's two parts of an industrial district you can do. You can never do the second one concurrent with the first one, so that means they'll never be able to do it for 20 years if they establish what they're trying to establish. But they don't know that. They're just learning. They're going through the process. Hopefully we can help them through it and help the community understand what they're trying to do. And then, again, hopefully they realize you don't have to take everything you can, but you can take just what you need. And that's another question going on through the community.
Okay, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay, that being said, that is our calendar. Is there anything further to come before this board?
I have nothing.
Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
We are adjourned. Have a nice day, everybody.